Hurricane Dorian remains an incredibly powerful Category 3 storm at this time, with winds of 120 miles per hour and a pressure of 952 millibars. The storm has been weakening. You can see the eye has been collapsing in those last frames, but that means the wind field will probably now be expanding as well. For the CDPS, we look at Cape Lookout, North Carolina, for a possible landfall on September 6th. A stage 5 there on the CDPS is expected, devastating if that was to occur. If not, the storm could still move extremely close to land when it passes the Outer Banks. Here it is right now though, 27.2 degrees north, 78.4 degrees west. It's moved 0.3 degrees north since the last update at 3 p.m. Eastern Time that I did here. It's 48 miles from Freeport, 106 from West Palm Beach, 120 from Fort Pierce, 204 from Orlando, and 294 from Jacksonville. A lot of warnings are still in effect, as you would imagine. The hurricane warning still for the Bahamas, and a hurricane warning extending as far as Ponte Vedra Beach in Florida. A hurricane watch all the way up to the South Santee River. Tropical storm warning also for those similar areas, Ponte Vedra Beach to Altamaha Sound there, and tropical storm watch for many other regions of Florida. Storm surge warning for Lantana to Savannah River. Storm surge totals could reach up to 7 feet along the coast of Florida, regardless of whether it actually makes landfall or not. Estimated rainfall over the next 5 days looks like this. So you can see the trail of rainfall moving through the Carolinas really, and then off towards the northeast. Florida looks like it will get away from most of the rain, but coastal regions could still see up to and possibly over 6 inches, depending on exactly where the storm goes in the next couple of days. The track is still very uncertain, although I think at this point we can just about rule out an actual landfall in Florida. Sea surface temperatures are around 27 or 28 degrees Celsius, certainly very warm enough for the storm to sustain itself a little longer, especially when it starts moving, which is what it should do today, and continue towards the northwest. So we expect it to remain a Category 3 for maybe another 2 days before reaching the North Carolina coast as a Category 2 later this week, and then pushing towards the northeast. Could still have hurricane force winds by the weekend, and then turning post-tropical, affecting Nova Scotia again with hurricane force winds. The northeast, Cape Cod for instance, chances getting into the 50-60% mark I think for tropical storm force winds, and the Outer Banks could get hurricane conditions. Chance of tropical storm force winds, Freeport obviously still near 100%, West Palm Beach 79%, Melbourne 84%, those have fallen slightly, 54% in Jacksonville and 86% now in Charleston. This is what the models look like spread together here. You can see generally it is going to maintain intensity according to the models over the next 2 days. Wind shear is low to moderate, 10 to 15 knots. Could be a little peak in the early part of today before it goes down again tonight. Sea surface temperatures remaining warm, although some models disagree on how warm the sea surface temperatures actually are. Relative humidity will start to go down as well, so that could be something that really gets into the storm, but potential for dry air intrusion later on. Here is the latest satellite imagery then. This is how the storm's been progressing. It's been moving agonizingly slow for the best part of 2 days now. It made landfall, the first landfall in the Bahamas at 12:45 p.m. 2 days ago, and we're now at 9 a.m. and the storm has barely moved 100 miles since. So it has been a catastrophic storm. Can never be overstated how destructive it will have been for those northernmost islands of the Bahamas. And at the moment, it is still staying away from the Florida coast. The bands of the storm, some of them moving overland, causing potential thunderstorms, maybe severe. Possibility for 1 or 2 tornadoes as well along the eastern coast of Florida later today. We'll continue to watch every movement of this storm, because a movement towards the west could bring hurricane conditions to the US coast. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com. You can also find our YouTube channel. If you're not there already, you may well be. Good chance of that. Subscribe if you haven't. You can also find our Facebook page, search Force 13 all in text, and our Twitter handle, it's @Force13 on there. You can also help the project become even better by becoming a patron. You can see more information about all the benefits involved by visiting patreon.com/Force13. With a special thanks to these people for being our most valued patrons this month. You can also check out our growing merch store so you can show Force 13's colours wherever you go. You can also find a link to our Discord server underneath this video in the description.